Behind us, in front of us, everywhere about us are suffragists, millions of them, but inactive and silent. They have been agitated and educated and are with us in belief. There are thousands of women who have at one time or another been members of our organization, but they have dropped out because to them the movement seemed negative and pointless. Many have taken up other work whose results were more immediate. Philanthropy, charity, work for corrective laws of various kinds, temperance. Relief for working women and numberless similar public services have called them. Others have turned to the pleasanter avenues of club work, art, or literature. There are thousands of other women who have never learned of the earlier struggles of our movement. They found doors of opportunity open to them on every side. They found well-paid posts awaiting the qualified woman, and they have availed themselves. Of all these blessings, almost without exception they believe in the vote, but they feel neither gratitude to those who opened the doors through which they have entered to. Economic liberty, nor any sense of obligation to open other doors for those who come after. There are still others who, timorously looking over their shoulders to see if any listeners be near. Will tell us they hope we will win and win soon, but they are too frightened of Mother Grundy to help. There are others too occupied with the small things of life to help. They say they could find time to vote, but not to work for the vote. There are men, too, millions of them, waiting to be called. These men and women are our reserves. They are largely unorganized and untrained soldiers with little responsibility toward our movement. Yet these reserves must be mobilized. The final struggle needs their numbers and the momentum those numbers will bring. Were never another convert made, there are suffragists enough in this country. If combined, to make so irresistible a driving force that victory might be seized at once. How can it be done? By a simple change of mental attitude. If we are to seize the victory, that change must take place in this hall, here and now. The old belief, which has sustained suffragists in many an hour of discouragement. Woman suffrage is bound to come, must give way to the new, the woman's hour has struck. The long drawn-out struggle, the cruel hostility which, for years was arrayed against our cause. Have accustomed suffragists to the idea of indefinite postponement but eventual victory. The slogan of a movement sets its pace. The old one counseled patience. It said, there is plenty of time. It pardoned sloth and half-hearted effort. It set the pace of an educational campaign. The woman's hour has struck sets the pace of a crusade which will have its way. It says, awake, arise, my sisters, let your hearts be filled with joy, the time of victory is here. Onward march. If you believe with me that a crisis has come to our movement, if you believe that the time for final action is now, if you catch the rosy tints of the coming day, what does it mean to you? Does it not give you a thrill of exaltation? Does the blood not course more quickly? Through your veins? Does it not bring a new sense of freedom, of joy, and of determination? Is it not true that you who wanted a little time ago to lay down the work because you were weary with long service, now, under the compelling influence of a changed mental attitude, are ready to go on until the vote is won? The change is one of spirit. And the spiritual effect upon you will come to others. Let me borrow an expression from Honorable John Finlay. What our great movement needs now is a mobilization of spirit, the jubilant, glad spirit of victory. Then let us sound a bugle call here and now to the women of the nation. The woman's hour has struck. Let the bugle sound from the suffrage headquarters of every state at the inauguration of a state campaign. Let the call go forth again and yet again. Let it be repeated in every article written, in every speech made, in every conversation held. Let the bugle blow again and yet again. The political emancipation of our sex calls you, women of America, arise. Are you content that others shall pay the price of your liberty? Women in schools and counting house, in shops, and on the farm. Women in the home with babes at their breasts and women engaged in public careers will hear. The veins of American women are not filled with milk and water. They are neither cowards nor slackers. They will come. They only await the bugle call to learn that the final battle is on. Clarence Darrow. A Plea for Mercy. Delivered September 24, 1924. Now, Your Honor, I have spoken about the war. I believed in it. I don't know whether I was crazy or not. Sometimes I think perhaps I was. I approved of it. I joined in the general cry of madness and despair. I urged men to fight. I was safe because I was too old to go. I was like the rest. What did they do? Right or wrong, justifiable or unjustifiable, which I need not discuss today, it changed the world. For 4 long years the civilized world was engaged in killing men. Christian against Christian, barbarian uniting with Christians to kill Christians. Anything to kill. It was taught in every school, in the Sunday schools. The little children played at war. The toddling children on the street. Do you suppose this world has ever been the same since? How long, Your Honor, will it take for the world to get back? The humane emotions that were slowly growing before the war? How long will it take the calloused hearts of men before the scars of hatred and cruelty shall be removed? We read of killing 100,000 men in a day. We read about it and we rejoiced in it. If it was the other fellows who were killed. We were fed on flesh and drank blood. Even down to the prattling babe. I need not tell you how many upright. Honorable young boys have come into this court charged with murder, some saved and some sent to their death. Boys who fought in this war and learned to place a cheap value on human life. You know it and I know. It. These boys were brought up in it. The tales of death were in their homes, their playgrounds. Their schools. They were in the newspapers that they read. It was a part of the common frenzy. What was a life? It was nothing. It was the least sacred thing in existence, and these boys were trained to this cruelty. It will take 50 years to wipe it out of the human heart, if ever. I know this, that after the Civil War in 1865, crimes of this sort increased. Marvelously. No one needs to tell me that. Crime has no cause. It has as definite a cause as any other disease. And I know that out of the hatred and bitterness of the Civil War, crime increased as America had never seen before. I know that Europe is going through the same experience today. I know it has. Followed every war. And I know it has influenced these boys so that life was not. The same to them as it would have been if the world had not made red with blood. I protest against the crimes and mistakes of society being visited upon them. All of us have a share in it. I have mine. I cannot tell, and I shall never know how many words. Of mine might have given birth to cruelty in place of love and kindness and charity. Your Honor knows that in this very court crimes of violence have increased growing out of the war. Not necessarily by those who fought, but by those that learned that blood was cheap. And human life was cheap, and if the state could take it lightly, why not the boy? There are causes for this terrible crime. There are causes, as I have said, for everything that happens in the world. War is a part of it. Education is a part of it. Birth is a part of it. Money is a part of it. All these conspired to compass the destruction of these two poor boys. Has the court any right to consider anything but these two boys? The state says that your honor has a right to consider the welfare of the community. As you have. If the welfare of the community would be benefited by taking these lives, well and good. I think it would work evil that no one could measure. Has your honor a right to consider the families of these defendants? I have been sorry, and I am sorry for the bereavement of Mr. and Mrs. Frank. For those broken ties that cannot be healed. All I can hope and wish is that some good may come from it all. But as compared with the families of Leopold and Loeb, the Franks are to be envied. And everyone knows it. I do not know how much salvage there is in these two boys. I hate to say it in their presence, but what is there to look forward to? I do not know but what your honor would be merciful to them, but not merciful to civilization. And not merciful if you tied a rope around their necks and let them die. Merciful to them. But not merciful to civilization, and not merciful to those who would be left behind. To spend the balance of their days in prison is mighty little to look forward to. If anything. Is it anything? They may have the hope that as the years roll around they might be released. I do not know. I do not know. I will be honest with this court as I